So it's been a rainy week in Southern California, which at the beach unfortunately means that there's probably been a lot of trash that's washed up. So we're down here on our own just doing the beach cleanup. But before I get started, I want to show you this giant piece of seaweed that washed ashore. This likely came from the deeper oceans and drifted ashore. So I'm going to show you one of the reasons why you really ought to avoid styrofoam products, because they break into small pieces. They end up getting into our rivers, lakes, and streams, and ultimately come rainy season, they break down into small parts and wash up on shore. Birds eat them, and we got to keep them out of our environment. I am literally at a point now, there is so much garbage on this shoreline that I don't even need to walk from point to point. I'm just gonna sit here literally and pick up the trash around me. Let me show you. So I'm just sitting on this rock. Here's my trash bag, and here's what I'm gonna start working on just from where I'm sitting. Let me show you this too, on the other side. And this is how it happens. Things just flowing out from this river, which carries water from the inland to the ocean. So we are headed back now after a crazy beach cleanup. You saw what we saw, what we picked up. Now, I didn't leave all that stuff at the trash cans at the beach because the scientist in me wants to know, what exactly did we find? I want to lay that out on the ground. This is what I've done in the past for all of you to see what kind of stuff makes it out to the shore. So I'm going to show you the back of the car. This is what we've got in the back, and maybe today, maybe next week, I'll share the contents of that with you. Alright, so it's a nice day out, so I'm actually just going to get right into organizing the debris that we found. I'm going to first clear out my patio, sweep all this stuff off the patio from the rains, and I'm actually going to use the broom that we found at the beach. So I'll come back to you once we start. Alright, so here you have it laid out, categorized. This is packaging, wrappers. I hate these Amazon Prime packages, but we found one, these plastic packages. We're seeing spray cans, the broom that you know. These were actually pretty new and nice objects, including this iPhone case here on the right, Starbucks mug thing, headphones holder. These are unopened foods that washed ashore, miscellaneous plastic objects, including the 8-ball you saw earlier and a sad looking Barbie. Quite a bit of footwear, including a new pair, or not a new pair, but a pair of sandals. These are our plastics, mostly clear plastics, including some really big jugs, lots of water bottles, tubes over here, caps, lighters, toothbrush. We've got a lot of markers and pens. I really love Mexican food, but I hate the little sauce containers. Sushi also uses those. Black rubbers and plastics, and overwhelmingly the majority of what we saw, styrofoam, and we barely scratched the surface. Although I'm very proud of what we did clean up, I think we made a huge dent in the beach litter down in Newport. So glad to have this removed from the shore. Oh, and I didn't even mention this is a big backpack that we found. It's drying right now. So we'll be recycling these things here. You can also recycle textiles, I believe shoes. I'm going to look into that. Plastic bag-like materials. We've got our little compost section. I'm going to look into potentially recycling these, and unfortunately this is going to be trash. So I really wanted to share this sort of story with you today because I think it's really neat what just a single person or a couple of people can do with an hour or an hour and a half of their time. Again, this is just a huge beach cleanup right after the rains. Imagine if we had 5 people, 10 people. However, you don't need 5 or 10 people. You can really just do it on your own. And I also wanted to mention that we all really do play a part in this ocean problem. Even if you think, oh, well, the plastics and the things that I consume, I make sure they go into the trash can or the recycler. Not everything that you throw in the trash makes it into the landfill, and even if it does, we're accumulating waste at the landfill. You know, human error, oftentimes trash doesn't make it to the landfill, and if it winds up in a river, a lake, or a stream, it gets carried out to the ocean. There's even cases of big barges, ships that go down in the middle of the ocean that sink, and trash, plastic, all kinds of stuff get basically into the global ocean circulation. So if we are, the most sure way that we can keep this stuff out of our environment is actually by not consuming it. So if you don't need something, really give second thought as to whether it's worth purchasing. The more we all consume, the more we all purchase, especially these plastics and rubber materials, the higher the likelihood that eventually you know, there's going to be human error. They're going to wind up in the oceans, in the environment. So let's all do our part. Let's clean up the beaches, but let's also watch our consumption and try to reduce waste through that as well. Thanks.